right, this is Judge Wish. It is April 3rd, 2019. This is courtroom 1, session 1. May I please have the parties announce themselves for the record?
Caffee Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Robert Williams, Office of the Public Defender.
And Manuel Soto Diaz with the Office of the Public Defender.
Thank you. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Blaine Horace Bartlett. I was baker at the why I had to go to court and stuff like that. I had got a baker at in Lakeside. I was baker at the why I had to go to court. I couldn't make it. My social worker sent a
Okay,
request form
Mr.
to.
Bartley, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant
Yes, I was baker
out of
at
Osceola County, and they have 24 hours to pick you up, and your bond is set in one case at $100. And then in the other case, it looks like it's also $100, and that's also out of Osceola County. So they have 24 hours to come and pick you up if you can't bond out, okay? All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Tybreed O'Neill Oliver.
Okay, do we know what happened with Mr. Thomas? Okay, we'll reset him within 24 hours of his release. Okay. Mr. Oliver, you're
Yes,
here
ma'am.
in 2019 MM 337AW. You were arrested for a simple trespass. I do find probable cause for the offense. You did not fill out a form for the public defender's office. Did you want to see if you can resolve your case today?
Your Honor, there is an offer on the table from the state.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
There is an offer from the state.
Okay,
3 days, no return.
okay, and does he have 2 days in?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and so he would get out today. Okay. Are you acting as a friend of the court, Mr. Williams? You didn't fill out a form for the PD, so I just wanted to make sure that you understood
Yes.
that.
Yeah, I do understand.
Okay. Mr. Oliver, did you want to accept the state's offer of 3 days with credit for 2 days time served? But it looks like you'll get out today and you can't go back to that 7-Eleven.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Oliver, did you want to plea no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained in the plea form?
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, no.
Okay, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I do find a factual basis based on the charging affidavit for you to plead to the offense. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 3rd, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. You can't go back to that 7-Eleven at 7603 West Colonial Drive and to abide by all trespass warnings, okay? If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Douglas Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here in 2019 MM 2801AO. You were arrested for petty theft. It's a retail offense and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for your offense. You did not fill out a form. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
See, I wanted to go, I was gonna ask you, can I go to Lakeside, cause I need help.
Okay, well, I think the jail will probably evaluate to determine whether or not you need to go to Lakeside, but I can't make that call, okay?
But see, I already witnessed, I seen some psychiatrist yesterday.
Okay, well, right now, I need to know whether or not, is there an offer from the state? I know it's a theft charge, so.
There is not, Your Honor.
Okay, so the court's not gonna make an offer. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you, okay, sir?
Yes,
So Mr. Williams is gonna represent you, and, I'm just gonna stay the bond at the $500 on count one and $100 on count two, okay? And maybe Mr. Williams can see if they can evaluate you, if they haven't already evaluated you, to see if you can go to Lakeside, okay?
yeah.
All
It
right.
also asks for no return to the,
Yeah, no return, Mr. Williams, to the Publix at 400 East Central Boulevard, okay? And no possession of drugs or illegal substances without a valid prescription. Good luck to you, Mr. Williams. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Edward William Zepp.
All right, Mr. Zepp, you're here in 2019 MM 155AE. You were arrested for, looks like possession of a controlled substance. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I'm gonna stay the bond at the $1,000, okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Kelvin Aguilar.
All right, Mr. Aguilar, you're here in 2019 CF 4560AO. You were arrested for retail theft over $300. I do find probable cause for your arrest, sir. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the J.C. Penney located at 8001 South Orange Blossom Trail. You're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses at that location. And your bond will be set at $2,500. You're also out on bond, sir, in 2019 CF 873A for similar petty theft, 2 prior convictions. I am gonna revoke the bond and set the bond at none. All right, tell me your name, please.
Walter Caffey,
All right, what is your name?
Walter Caffey.
Okay, do we know what happened to Mr. Alston? Okay, we will try and see if he wants to come visit us tomorrow, so we'll reset him. And then Mr. Bazile? Okay, so this needs to go over to courtroom 2. So we'll send that over to Judge Carter. All right, Mr. Caffey, you're here in 2019 CF 4547AO. You were arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to drive without a valid license. You're out on bond in 2018. It looks like it was a CF case in 17800, and it's been transferred to a CT case. I'm gonna revoke the bond, but I'm gonna give you a new bond, okay? I'm not gonna hold you no bond, okay? So I'm gonna revoke the bond and set the bond. Looks like your bond is $2,500. I am gonna set it at $5,000, okay? Don't drive without a valid license, sir.
Your Honor.
Oh, there's a new case, oh, sorry. And I'm gonna say the bond on the new felony, okay?
Your Honor. Does he have counsel in the add-on bond case?
No.
I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him in, I think it's the CT. It looks like it was transferred to a CT case.
It's 19 CT
1235
1235.
AO. Right, so you have counsel on both cases now, okay? Thank you for bringing that to my attention. All right, please tell me your name.
Yeah, I'm kind of hard to.
Are you, do you need the headphones? Are you Mr. Campbell?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get you some headphones, okay? All right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. How's that?
Oh,
That better? Okay. Can you tell me your name, sir?
James Campbell.
All right, Mr. Campbell, you're here in 2019 CF 4544 AO. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, and I am going to stay the bond at the $1,000. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, okay, Mr. Campbell?
Jim, do I ask for your warrant
You might want to take the headphones off so he can hear you now. Okay.
I would like to ask the court for an OR on release or what do
An
you call?
ROR, sir, I'm not comfortable RORing you, based on your history, okay? So I'm gonna stay the bond at the $1,000,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
Carlson is hospital.
Okay, we will reset her within 24 hours of her release.
Also Raphael Acevedo is also hospital.
Okay. We will reset him as well within 24 hours of his release. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Tyler Dunn.
All right, Mr. Dunn, you're here in 2019 CF 4558 AO. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree, and possession of methamphetamine. I do find probable cause for your arrest, sir. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the super target at 4750 Millennia Plaza Way in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses at that location. You're to abide by all trespass warnings. And you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I am gonna set your bond on count 1 at $2,500. Count 2 will be $150. You are out on bond in 2018 CF 13896 AO. Do we know if he's represented in that?
Yes.
The PD? Okay, the public defender does represent you in that case, and I am gonna revoke that bond and set the bond at none on each count. Or it's, you were was he bonded or ROR'd? Because it has both checked off.
Your Honor, the case number on the docket is incorrect. What's the correct case number? 18 CF.
That's the 9 in there, it's 138.
Okay. 13816?
9-6.
Just take the Leo 9.
It's a fleeing and eluding, leaving the scene, resisting, ag bat, Leo, deadly weapon, ag fleeing with leaving the scene, high speed. Out on bond, okay. All right, please tell me your name, sir. All right, Mr. Foreman, you're here in 2016 CF 1227AO. You're arrested for failing to, on a capias for failing to appear for your violation of probation status hearing on March 26, 2019. The judge revoked your bonds and set your bonds on each count at none. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office if they haven't already been appointed, okay? Do we give him a new status, Mr. Foreman? Do we give him a new status date or no? Okay. You should get a date at some point, but not today, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Dmitry Golubenko.
Okay, Mr. Golubenko, you're here in 2019 CF 4534AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was already found for grand theft, third degree. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you still live on campus?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I know you live in Tower 2?
Yes.
Okay, you're not to return back to Tower 1 or the garage, okay? You're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses as alleged in the affidavit. And your bond will stay at the $2,500 as set in the warrant, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Christian Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, you're here in 2019 CF 4549AO. You're arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to that McDonald's at 228 South Orlando Avenue. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And your bond will stay at the $1,000. Okay. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Aaron Howell.
All right, Mr. Howell, you're here in 2019 CF 4548AO. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine, petty theft, it's a retail offense, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the Coles at 7143 Narcousie Road to abide by any and all trespass warnings if they've provided any to you. You're not to have any contact with any listed witnesses or victims in the case, and you're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will be $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2 and 3.
I was wondering if there's any way that I could be ROR'd because I have a job that I'm working with this week. No? Okay.
All right, please tell me your name.
Prentice Tyrone Jackson, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Jackson, you're here in 2019 CF 4471. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was already found for sale and delivery of cocaine. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to that Kentucky Fried Chicken at 7155 South Orange Blossom Trail. Your bond will stay at the $5,000 as listed in the warrant. You're out on bond in 2019 CF 2584AO. I am revoking that bond and setting that bond at none.
Your Honor, I believe that the capias was issued for his arrest after, in that case, after KCF 4471.
Looks like the date of offense is 11/9/18 in the other case. This date of offense.
December 17th.
So the date of offense in the 2584 case is, looks like November the 9th, 2018.
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah, December 17th. You pull up the.
The information and the affidavit list 11/9/18. The date of this offense is alleged to have occurred on December 17th.
Correct. 2018. So that antedates the Arnold Bond case.
So this case is after the out on bond
Yeah.
case.
Yeah,
It's just that I don't know if he had been arrested on the other case. But this incident is subsequent to that.
it's subsequent.
It's a subsequent event.
But he bonded on 3/1, is that correct? 3/1/2019? We couldn't possibly have committed this offense after.
The question is, when was he arrested
No, it's-
on the other case? It was a
it's
warrant case, the other one was
Warrant
too.
case.
So he may not have been arrested
Yeah.
at the time.
for the warrant. Do you want to recall it?
He wasn't arrested until 2/28. So he had committed 2 offenses. He wasn't picked up until February.
Right, but what's the date for which he was out on bond in 2019 CF 2584?
Correct, he had already committed the crime before he was ever arrested. He committed both crimes before he was ever arrested.
Right, so he couldn't have violated the conditions of release in the case in which he was out on bond. Is
You
that,
can make that argument to the judge.
that's my argument, Your Honor. That
Okay, all right.
He was, before he was even out on bond, to violate the conditions of release, he had already committed that offense.
Okay. I'm gonna revoke the bond, but I will set the bond at $10,000.
And the bond on a new violation is
Um, And yeah, I stated at the 5,000 that was in the warrant. I revoked it and set it at a new bond at 10,000. Okay?
In this case, we're 2,000. And the one right, 4471.
Sorry, I meant to set the new bond at 10,000. I'm not revoking the other bond. I'm sorry, I'm confusing everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, the new bond will be 10,000, sorry, in the felony case that's present before me now. The out on bond, I'm not taking any action on because of the argument by Mr. Diaz as to the offense. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Johnny Johnson.
Do we know what happened with Felix Cologne? Okay, we will reset. Is it possible, because there's a lot of arrest warrants in here, that we just hold this aside so I can make a copy of it for when it is reset? Because we had to print out a lot of stuff that I read, and I don't want to have to read it again. We'll just set this aside so that I can photocopy it, because it's a lot of cases, and they never print out the arrest affidavit for arrest warrants. So we'll reset Felix Cologne. All right, please tell me your name.
Johnny Johnson.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you're here in 2019 CF 4583. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for possession of fentanyl. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And the bond will stay as set in the warrant at 15,000. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
My name is Joshua Jordan.
All right, Mr. Jordan, you're here in 2019 CF 45840. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for armed burglary of a structure with a firearm and grand theft third degree. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
State's not making a request for proof evident presumption rate. However, state is requesting a higher bond. State's gonna ask for a $25,000 bond. Looks like the argument, or the information in the warrant is that he was a security officer, therefore had a gun on his belt when he committed the crime. So we're gonna just ask for a higher bond. Obviously, it's an employee theft as well. And so because of that, I see that he has no prior criminal history. We'd ask for no contact with any victims, no return, possession of no weapons.
Okay, Mr. Jordan, you're not to return back to Lexus of Orlando, or any Lexus. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to return back to that Wawa either. At the 8049 East Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida. And you're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses listed in the arrest warrant, okay? And I am gonna set your bond at $25,000 on count 1, and count 2, I'm gonna set it at $150, okay?
Ma'am, is there a way that,
I can't hear you, you're gonna have to speak up, sorry.
I'm sorry, hello?
It's okay.
Is there a way I can have like a bond reduction? Because right now, me and my wife are having financial.
Your attorneys can file an appropriate motion, and it would be heard by the judge that it's assigned to. Our admin order indicates it should be heard within 3 days. But I think $25,000 based on the offense, I could hold you at no bond, sir, but I'm not doing that. So you do have a bond, and Mr. Williams can explain to you the bond procedure, okay? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Job Kent.
All right, Mr. Kent, you're here in 2019 CF 3892AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for failing to update your driver's license as a sex offender. Probable cause was already found. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You do have reporting requirements, so make sure that you comply with those. And your bond will stay as set at the $1,000, okay? Just make sure you comply with your reporting requirements. All right, please tell me your name.
Antonio Carlos Montgomery.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Antonio Carlos Montgomery, ma'am.
Okay, and do we know what happened with Mr. Leonard? Okay, thank you. We'll reset Mr. Leonard. All right, Mr. Montgomery. You're here in 2019 CF 4556AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, tampering with physical evidence, and introducing contraband into a county facility. I do find probable cause. In 2019 MM 2814AO, you were arrested for possession of cannabis. Less than 20 grams. And I do find probable cause for that offense. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you in both cases. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna stay your bond on the possession of cannabis at $500. All right, in the possession of cocaine and tampering and introducing contraband, your bond on count 1 will be $2,500. Count 2 will be $150. Count 3 will be $150. You're out on bond, sir, in 2019 MM 2668AO. I am revoking those bonds and setting them at none.
Montgomery. He's happy to be there.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Andre Moseby.
Mr. Moseby, you're here in 2019 CF 4553AO. You were arrested for possession of MDMA ecstasy and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. In 2018 CF 5234AO, you were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your plea hearing on July 16, 2018. The judge is revoking your release and set your bond at none on each count. In 2018 CF 7818AO, you were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for pretrial on October 14, 2018. The judge revoked your release, revoked your bond, set your bond at none. I'm appointing the public defender to represent you in all 3 cases if you aren't already represented by them, and the other failures to appear. Your bond on count 1 of the new case is $2,500 and $100 on count 2. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Do we give him new pretrial dates or anything?
Not felonies.
Okay. So, we're not gonna give you new dates today, but you'll get new dates, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Tremaine Norman Pollak.
All right, Mr. Pollak, you're here in 2019 CF 4552AO. You were arrested for fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer, possession of a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon, carrying concealed firearm, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond on count 1 will be $15,000. Count 2 will stay at $4,000. Count 3 will be at $150, and counts 4, 5, and 6 will stay at the $100. You're also out on bond on 2019 CF 4131AO. I'm revoking the bonds in those counts and setting everything at none. Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Anna Rodriguez.
Okay, I'm trying to find her base sheet. I don't have it. Oh, thank you. All right, Ms. Rodriguez, you're here in 2019 CF 4543AO. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Thank you.
You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to place you into pretrial release. You're to have face-to-face contact once a week with them, okay?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you're subject to random urinalysis within 24 hours of your release. So just make sure you comply with their instructions and do everything they tell you to do, because if you don't, they can file an affidavit and I can hold you at no bond, okay?
Okay,
So just
ma'am.
make sure you do what they tell you to do,
I'll do
okay?
whatever I have to. Thank
All
you
right.
very much, ma'am. Okay.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Michael Lee Slater.
All right, Mr. Slater, you're here in 2019 CF 4546AO. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay at $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. Okay. We'll reset Mr. Stone. All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Amanda Street.
All right, Ms. Street, you're here in 2019 CF 4562AO. You were arrested for destruction of evidence, possession of drug paraphernalia, and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to the Family Dollar at 918 West Colonial Drive and to abide by any and all trespass warnings. Your bond will be set on count 1 at $1,000, count 2 $100, and count 3 $100. Do you know, Ms. Kenny Swanson, if the state's filed on the out on bond case? She was in there for quite a while.
Have one moment.
I'm gonna look it up too, so.
No, the state's not made a charging decision.
All right, I am gonna revoke the bond, but I'm gonna set the bonds again, okay, as follows. Count 1 will be $1,000, count 2 will be $100, and count 3 will be $100, okay?
All right, thank you.
please tell me your name, ma'am.
Sarah Tavares.
All right, you're here in 2018 CF 3848AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your plea hearing on March 4th, 2019. The judge set your bond on each count at none. Is she represented by your office, Mr. Williams, do you know?
Yes.
Okay, she has the public defender, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Jamal Whitlock.
All right, Mr. Whitlock, you're here in 2019 CF 4555AO. You were arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, carrying concealed firearm, and possession of cannabis over 20 grams. I do find probable cause for the offense. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. Is there a standard bond schedule for the possession of intent with a weapon?
I have one moment.
I tried to find it earlier and then.
Doesn't say standard with a weapon, not on sale
Sorry.
and deliveries.
The printer, I can't.
Not with the sale and deliveries, I don't see it with a weapon. I
It's
just
a
see this,
possession with intent.
I know, I'm saying, I see the
Oh.
possession with intent, but I don't see with a weapon as
Yeah,
a
I
different.
tried to look earlier and then I didn't want to waste too much time.
Yeah, I don't see a different amount, unlike just the drugs and weights, I don't see.
All right, I am gonna set the bond at $15,000 on count 1. Count 2 will be 150, count 3, 150. All right, please tell me your name.
Catherine Williams.
All right, Miss Williams, you're here in 2019 CF 4587. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery with a weapon and criminal mischief under $200. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. This is a punishable by life felony. Is the state asking the court to make any findings?
Yes, Your Honor. State's asking the defendant be held at no bond based on proof evident presumption. Great. Looking at the affidavit submitted by Officer Curtis Holcomb, it looks like this defendant with two other individuals entered into a home without permission. The three of the uninvited guests then began fighting with the residents that were present. One of the residents tried to get out of the room where they came in into a bedroom. This defendant and the co-defendants came in and began punching and throwing items at the victim. We'd ask that the defendant be held at no bond based on proof evident presumption. Great. We'd also ask for no contact with any of the witnesses, no return to the residence where this incident happened, no weapons and no firearms. She's out in 19 MM 2618 case, Your Honor. I have 1 second.
I'm looking that up too. I'm just trying to see.
In that case, the state has, let me just make sure it's not an NTA. The state has not made a charging decision. It was, she bonded and then her arraignment is set for 4:30. We'd ask that the bond be revoked and the original bond be at least doubled. In that case, she has 2 prior misdemeanors, convictions as well.
Okay, Mr. Williams?
The defense has nothing in regards to presumption, proof evident or presumption great, Your Honor.
Okay.
The add-on bond is a criminal mischief.
Sorry?
The add-on bond is just a criminal mischief, less
Yeah.
than 200.
I'm just reading it because I wanted to see if it was the same individual, you know, if it was similar parties involved. All right, Ms. Williams, I do find proof evident presumption great based on my review of the affidavit for the arrest warrant and the state's arguments. And I am gonna hold you no bond. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any witness or victim listed in the affidavit for arrest warrant. You're not to return back to the residence listed in the affidavit. Mr. Williams, will you make sure she knows what that address is? Or does the state have any objection to me listing it?
Yes, Your Honor, but I can walk over.
Okay. Okay. You can't go back to that location, ma'am.
There's people downstairs.
Okay. Your bond on count 2 will remain at $100. You're out on bond in 2019 MM 2618AO. I am revoking that bond and I'm gonna set the bond at $500.
And Your Honor, is there any reason why she needs to return to the apartment complex where the victims
No,
live?
don't return back to
Mike,
that
is there-
complex. Sorry.
She's
lived
gonna need
there?
a one-time return to receive her personal belongings.
In addition to a one-time return with law enforcement at the apartment complex. She has stuff at the
Okay,
complex,
okay,
not
yeah.
at the residence.
One-time return to the apartment complex to get your belongings. Make sure you contact law enforcement ahead of time to get your, to accompany you, okay? Yeah, there's no bond. And then I just made the bond 500 on the out on bond. All right, please tell me your name.
Raymond Acevedo Rosado.
All right, Mr. Acevedo, you're here in 2019 MO 5980. You were arrested for camping. I do find probable cause. Did you wanna, you didn't fill out a form for the public defender. Do you wanna see if the state has an offer for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Communication, 3 days, no return.
Does he have 2 days in? Okay, so it looks like that will probably get you out today if you wanna take the offer. And you're out on release in 2019 CF 851AO, but I won't take any action on that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Just make sure you don't come back.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And you're okay, Mr. Acevedo, with
Yes, ma'am.
entering a plea without counsel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere? Is that a no?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea to the camping charge. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You're not to return back to that location and camp, okay? That
Yes, ma'am.
Grove Park, or Terry Avenue and Grove Park. Is there a name of the location? Just that particular area. Don't go back there.
Yes, ma'am.
I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by April 3rd, 2020, okay? If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Just make sure some judge might revoke that bond if you come back again, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he have the PD in the other case? Just wanna make sure he. Okay, looks like he's represented by the PD already in that case. Okay. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Kenneth Rodriguez.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Madero? Oh, okay. We'll send that over to courtroom 2 for the afternoon. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, you're here in 2019 CO 3810. You were arrested for soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Do you wanna see if the state has an offer for you to resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Adjudication, 3 days.
And he has 2 in, so I think you'll be getting out today. Thank you. Do you want to sign this, Mr. Williams?
The case number's in our office?
Yeah, I appointed
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Yes. I didn't hear that.
Thank
I'm sorry,
you.
Your Honor.
Yes. I feel like it's really hot in here. Yeah, it's really hot. Gesundheit. You're fine. Thank you. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the
Yes,
plea? Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by April 3rd, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Christina Biermann.
All right, Ms. Biermann, you're here in 2019 MM2813AO. You were arrested for trespass in a dwelling. I do find probable cause for the offense. I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm not sure if the state has an offer.
There is no offer, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm just gonna stay the bond at the $500. You're not to return back to that location as alleged in the affidavit. Does the state have any objection to me? Looks like it's a vacant home.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Not to return back to 2827 West Livingston Street. I think that's the address. So you're not to return back there, you're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. And your bond will stay at the 500, okay? Mr. Edmond? Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, we'll reset him within 24 hours of his release.
Andrew Edwards is refused.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. Edwards. Huh?
What did she say?
Refused. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Dennis James Forrest, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Forrest, you're here in 2019 MM 338AW. You were arrested for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm just going to order that the bond remain at the $500, okay? Yeah, I appointed the PD. All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Janita Huckabay.
All right, Ms. Huckabee, you're here in 2019 MM 2800AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. It appears as though you do not qualify for the public defender because you make too much money. She has the PD in her out on bond case.
Because my only income is entertaining, like I'm a dancer in Tampa, so that's my only income, and I don't do that all the time.
Okay. But do you have the public defender on your other case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you in this case too. State does not have an offer?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And I am gonna set the bond at $1,000. Based on the facts alleged, in my review of the affidavit and the out on bond charges and facts in that case, I am gonna revoke the bond and set the bond at none on each count in 2018 CF 16202AO.
So what is the bond gonna be on the case that I'm
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Is there gonna be a bond for the previous
I
case?
said it at no bond. Please tell me your name, sir.
Calvin Reese.
Do we know what happened to Mr. Jamber?
Mr. Jamber's behavior, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll reset him. All right, Mr. Reese, you're here in 2019 MM 2809AO. You were arrested for petty theft. It's a retail offense. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is there an offer from the state?
No,
Or-
Your
Okay. You're not to go back to that target at 120 West Grant Street to abide by any and all trespass warnings if you were provided any. You're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. Your bond will be set at $1,000. Please tell me your name, sir, or ma'am. Oh, I've Rosemary Sawyer. Okay, thank you. We'll reset Miss Sawyer. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Juan Gonzalez.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez, you're here on an out-of-county warrant. Looks like it's Osceola County. And the judge in that case, is it a no bond? Okay. Looks like the judge set your bond at none in that case. Osceola County has 24 hours to come and pick you up, okay, sir? All right, please tell me your name. Ms. Jones? Okay, sorry, it's hard to hear because of things going on over here, so I just need you to speak up. Thank you. All right, you were here, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant. Looks like out of Dixie County. I don't even know where that is. Never heard of it. All right, and the judge in that case, is it no bond as well? No bond, and so I don't know where Dixie County is, but my guess is that they have 72 hours to come and pick you up, and that does not include weekends, okay? All right. All right, please tell me your name.
Torres.
All right, Mr. Torres, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Brevard County. And that's no bond too? Okay. No bond in that case, and Broward has 72 hours to come and pick you up, okay? And that does not include the weekends.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Okay?
All right, thanks.
Sorry? Reporting requirements? Yeah. Mr. Torres, just remember, you have reporting requirements, okay?
Excuse me?
You have reporting requirements. Just remember that, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, I only have
I think
Miss-
Delquan is on the.
Mr. Taylor. I don't have the other
Is on
one.
the add-on docket.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So we'll reset Mr. Taylor. He had downtown court?
Yes.
Okay.
Delquan is Manny. That's the case you said you were gonna withdraw the motion. That's the one that's saying refused.
All right, do you want to still go forward on Mr. Charles's case, or?
No, Your Honor, we were gonna withdraw that motion.
Oh, you're withdrawing it? Okay, after I went through everything.
Well, the,
Because I got the updated Dr. Danziger report and reviewed that, so I just want to make sure if he's going to be on a conditional release, that he goes to Aspire, some sort of program, because all the other cases don't list any, I don't know what's going on in these cases where the competency is an issue, but every single one I've seen, there's like no conditional release plan at all. And they're just out there, and unfortunately, it's not benefiting them.
I received an email early this morning from Joseph Lindsay. This is 19 MM 1934, correct?
Yes.
That he was withdrawing the motion and that we didn't need to argue it. Information has been filed.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
So, no, that's fine. I just won't take any action on it, but I don't know what's going on downtown, but I feel like every one of these cases where somebody's on conditional release, there's like no plan.
I was.
And they
last
just
time
get
we spoke
reset
about
and
this-
reset and reset. I don't know if you know what goes on, but I feel like every time I get a motion, I look at like all the cases, it just adopts the prior case's conditional plan, and there's no plan.
Oh, I know. It's,
It's odd.
I think people just kind of want to just toss it in the closet. and
Right,
move
but
on.
it's like they're getting restoration, and then there is no program that they're in, so.
I started wondering, when I came back to the office, whether maybe we just can't see it, and that maybe it's private, it should be docketed, you know, has a little
It's
lock on it.
not even, no, I mean,
No,
I can
no.
see everything,
Right.
and there's nothing, so. Okay, well, we won't take any action on Mr. Charles's case, as the PD's withdrawing the motion. And, these, I'm gonna do, Ms. Bobeck's cases first. Ms. Kennedy Swanson, so 2019 CF 2968 AO Daquan Jocks Brown.
Be denied. It was filed with the co-defendant's case in 19 CF 2965.
Can you give me that case, it was
19.
filed as a co-defendant?
Yes, 19 CF 2965.
Is there a B or an A or
I don't have those notes. You have to give
C?
me.
Okay,
And he has two cases, Richard Mendoza and Lauren Bobeck, both for Daquan Brown. He's on the add-on docket as well. And the case was consolidated in that C case.
okay, so I can list both of those on there?
Correct.
2019 CF 2998,
Correct, Your Honor. So it should be denied
AO.
in both.
okay, so that'll be denied. And they're both filed in that CO case.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I'm just gonna put those on the order so that they're aware, in case they didn't know. Okay, And then, in 2019, CF 2875AO, Arlene Marrero. This was filed by, Felix Felicier.
I have one moment.
Sure.
The state has not made a charging decision in that case.
Okay, so that will be granted. All right, and then I have from Mr. Froming, 2019 CF 2486AO.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 4/2.
That will be granted. And
So-
then now.
I'm
on
sorry,
to-
this is, Mr.
That was for Mr., it was a different, it
The
wasn't a
private
public
attorney
defender case, it was privates.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna start the PD cases. 2019 CF 2564AO, to Sean Henderson.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 4/2.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 2666AO, Terrence Lamar Harris.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 4/2.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 1914AO, Fletcher Lee Edward.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 4/2.
Okay, that will be granted. 2019 CF 2908AO, Eddie Jamal Smith.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 4/2.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 3013AO, Hector Garcia Rivera.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 4/2.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 2916AO, Robert Pedro Roman Fuentes Jr.
That should be denied. The state had filed an information on 4/2.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 2892AO, Ashley Patricia Madden.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and consolidated it with misdemeanor case number 19 MM 1756AO.
Okay, that will be denied. 2019 CF 1231AO, Terrence Tavares Garrett.
Just for the record, this defendant has already had a 33-day motion in February. He was picked up on a new law offense, which this condition of release was revoked, and then he's now for second 33-day motion. The state still has not made a charging decision, but it's for the court's information that this is really his second 33-day motion after getting arrested on a new law offense.
So since the,
It should be granted since the state still has not filed
oh, okay,
information.
okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Just for the
sure if
court's record,
It
yeah.
wasn't like a 30, okay.
Yeah.
2019 CF 2966AO, Robert Lee Irvin.
This should be denied. The state filed an information and a request for transfer from felony to misdemeanor on 3/29.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 3040AO, Ayub Mul Abdullah-Ram.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 4/2.
That will be granted, right?
Yes, granted.
Okay, do we have anything else? We're all done? I see no takers, all right. We'll be in recess until after lunch, April 3rd, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 2. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Caffee Kennedy Swans on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Robert Williams with the Office of the Public Defender.
All right.
Attorney Manuel Soto Diaz with the Office of Public Defender.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
George Elwood Callaway, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Callaway, you're here in 2019 CF 4581AO. You were arrested for, well, it's written on the front page as burglary of an occupied structure, but it's an unoccupied structure, and that's what's in the affidavit itself. So I think it just got inputted incorrectly. But that and a grand theft third degree. I do find probable cause for the burglary of an unoccupied structure and a grand theft third degree. You're not to return back to that location, Roberts Diesel Works, at 906 West Gore Street, and then you're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any listed witnesses or victims. Your bond on count 1 will be $5,000 and count 2 $150. And sorry if I did not say it, I am appointing the public defender.
Judge, is there any way we can have the bond on count 1? Lord, Mr. Callaway has just indicated that he'll be having trouble.
I'm sorry, I can't
I'm sorry,
hear you.
Mr. Callaway just indicated to me that he'll have a significant problem trying to meet the $5,000 bond on count 1.
Yeah. I think that's an appropriate bond based on the facts and based on the history. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 burglaries on his history, 3 failures to appear, the last being in December of 2018, 48 unknowns, 4 times he's been to the Department of Corrections, 16 felonies, 14 misdemeanors, 4th arrest this year.
Can I say something, Judge?
I would be very careful what you say on the record, sir.
I'm not talking about the facts of my case. Can I say something, Judge? As I got older, you know what I mean, when I was young, I did a lot of things. And now that I got old, 65 years old, I don't do that type of stuff anymore.
Okay, but
I'm
sir, this is your
homeless.
4th arrest this year.
Yes, I'm homeless,
Okay.
and I was trying to get something to eat.
Okay, well, everything you're saying on the record is gonna be used against you, so be
No,
very
I'm
careful
just
about what
telling
you're
the truth,
saying.
Judge. I'm just telling the
Okay.
truth.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Josué Torres.
Sorry?
Josué Torres.
Okay. You're here in 2019 CF 4588AO. You were arrested for an armed robbery with a deadly weapon, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, resisting an officer without violence, and burglary of an occupied structure. I do find probable cause for those offenses. In 2019 CF 4569AO, you were arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting with violence. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you in both your cases, sir. I believe count 1 is a PBL,
Yes, Your Honor.
armed robbery, I believe.
Give me 1 second.
And do you want to be heard as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Can I have 1 second? Your Honor, if you look at the four corners of the affidavit, why Deputy Avila, it looks like this started off as a road rage incident. The defendant, along with the co-defendant, who I believe is later on in the docket, pulled over to a McDonald's parking lot. After words were exchanged, this defendant got a screwdriver out of the back of his trunk, then approached the victim's vehicle, began trying to get in the back window, then was able to get through the window, and the victim states that because of her seatbelt, she wasn't actually stabbed with the screwdriver, while the defendant talked to, it looks like law enforcement. He said he was just out of control while this was happening. Based on the dangerous nature of this particular incident, we'd ask the defendant be held at no bond as to count 1. As to counts 2 through 4, no objection to subsidiaries. The defendant is out on bond, excuse me, in 2019 CF
2648.
2648, yes. Sorry, my computer is frozen for a second.
Mr. Williams?
No argument from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay, it does indicate in there that the seatbelt prevented the blows from punching her skin, and then she raised her arms and then she, as a result, was stabbed in the arm. So she was attacked with the screwdriver, which caused injury.
The out on bond case was a warrant case as well. The 2019 CF 2648 case, that's also that's an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I'm trying to look for the initial appearance.
I think there's 4 counts.
Your Honor.
For the notes to see if he was told no weapons or firearms.
Yes. Mr. Diaz?
We just received this incident report. My office didn't have it earlier. Trying to fly through it now. I'm trying to find the robbery. What was taken from
He took the cell phone and then ran away with it. I can direct you to it. After the stabbing, it says he then grabbed her cellular phone out of her hand and ran back to Gabriella's vehicle. And then the co-defendant, the victim exited her vehicle and then chased after him. So he ran back to the vehicle of the co-defendant with the cell phone.
And Your Honor, in the Allen Bond case, it does, the 19 CF 2648, it does say possess no weapons or firearms in that initial appearance paperwork.
Mr. Diaz, do you have any other comment? Okay.
No, it's just looking.
Okay. All right, so, in 2019 CF 4588AO, I do find proof evident presumption great. For count 1, I am gonna hold him at no bond on count 1. Count 2, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, the bond will be $5,000. Count 3 and count 4 will be $100 and $150 respectively. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to return back to that, I think it's McDonald's at 7409 East Colonial Drive. You're not to have any contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. In 2019 CF 4569AO, again, not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. Not to have any contact with any victim. Bond will be stayed at the $2,500, and count 2 will be $150. In 2019 CF 2648AO, I'm revoking those bonds and setting those bonds at none. Thank you. All right, please tell me, Please tell me your name, sir.
Brennan King.
All right, Mr. King, you were here in 2019 CF 4576AO. You're charged with possession of MDMA ecstasy. I believe it's with intent. That's the statute. It just doesn't say it on the front of the affidavit. But with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis, more than 20 grams, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of MDMA ecstasy, possession of cocaine, possession of alprazolam, possession of a controlled substance, possession of tetrahydrocannabinols. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will be $15,000 on count 1, and the bonds will remain as set on each additional count at $1,000. I don't see it. Oh. Is there an out on bond? Oh, there is an out on bond, sorry, thank you. In 2017 CF 15742AO, I'm revoking that bond and setting the bonds at none. All right. Please tell me your name, ma'am.
Skyland Gilroy.
McElroy. You're here in 2019 CF 4573AO. You arrested for possession of MDMA ecstasy, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm gonna stay the bond at $1,000 on count 1, $100 on count 2, and $100 on count 3. You're represented by Mr. Carestes on your out on bond case.
Is that Moncrief?
Sorry?
Oh, in Moncrief?
No, the attorney that's representing you. It's not the public defender's office.
I don't know where.
Okay, I believe it's Mr. Carestes, and in 2018 CF 12609AO, I am revoking the bond and setting the bond at none.
So I'm not. I still have bond? No?
Please tell me your name, sir.
Edward Ox.
Mr. Ox, you're here in 2019 CF 4578AO. You're arrested for burglary of a structure, criminal mischief, over 200, less than 1,000, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to Florida Auto Services and Sales at 215 South Kirkman Road. Not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. Your bond will be set on count 1 at $5,000, count 2, 100 and, is that a misdemeanor? That's a misdemeanor, $100, and $100 on count 3. Please tell me your name, sir.
James Skipper.
All right, Mr. Skipper, you are here in 2019 CF 4580AO. You were arrested for possession of fentanyl and possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 will be $1,000, count 2 $150. You were ROR'd in 2019 CF 1129AO. I'm revoking that and setting it at no bond. Please tell me your name, sir.
Ray Stiles.
All right, Mr. Stiles, you're here in 2019 CF 4577AO. You were arrested for introducing contraband into a county facility and possession of MDMA ecstasy. I find probable cause for those offenses in 2019 CF 4572AO. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine ecstasy. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender in both of your cases. On count 1 in 4577, your bond will stay at $1,000. Count 2 $150, and I'll stay the bond on count 1 in 4572 at $1,000. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. All right, is Mr. Moore not joining us again today? Okay. Mr. Williams, I'm inclined to appoint the public defender. Do you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so in 2019 MM333AW, Mr. Moore was arrested for trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. I find probable cause. I'm gonna stay the bond at $500. He's out on bond, but I'm not gonna take, in 2019 CF 2081, I'm not gonna take any action on that, okay? But he's not to return back to that location at 4420 Gore Avenue. So I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond.
It's from felony misdemeanor, hold on. Case number.
Mr. Young, is he also not joining us today? Okay, Mr. Young, 2019 MM 2767AO. He was arrested for a trespass. I do find probable cause for the offense. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Are you waiving his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And he's not to return back to the 7-Eleven at 901 South Orange Blossom Trail. And his bond will be stayed at $500. Do we have anything else? No? All right, we're in recess until tomorrow.